Trails Farm. Today I'm going to be making my own minced dried onions using my dehydrator. And if any of y'all remember, I didn't have a great onion crops. Most of them were like golf ball size or around there. So instead of saving them to use them in food and stuff, I think I'm just going to cut them all up, except for the two bigger ones that were full size. I'm going to cut them all up, and I'm going to put them in my dehydrator, and I'm going to make my own minced onions. So in case you didn't get the video that had the onion crop in them, so here's my onions. They've been outside and they're dried now. They've been drying for about 2 weeks. And you see most of them are just, some of them never really got bigger than the starts, and most of them got to be like golf ball size. I had two that got to be fairly big, but they just were ready to pick before they got much bigger. So next year I'm going to stick with green onions. So I'm going to cut all these up and then put them in the dehydrator, and we're going to make our own minced onions. You can also add a note. You can use once they're dried and little minced pieces, you can actually put them in a little chopper. You can use a coffee grinder. There's all kinds of things you can use and make your own onion powder. But I actually use the minced onions more than I use the onion powder. One of my kids is going through a I hate onions stage, and all of us love onions. So I've been tending to use dried minced onions a lot more than I use the fresh, because he just doesn't see them as much. So let me get these chopped up, and we'll get them in the dehydrator. Okay, I put the first batch into the dehydrator, and down to about half of them, and then I'm going to get those in there too, and then we'll look at them in the dehydrator, and when we come back I'll show you the finished product. Okay, I got the second tray of onions put in, and if you see, I try to do them not too tiny but not too big, because they're going to shrink. So at first I think I started doing them really tiny, and I don't want to do them too tiny. You can do this in the oven too. In fact, the last time I did it in the oven, and you just put it on like 250, and I have an electric oven, so I just sort of leave mine cracked. I warm it up at like 200, 250, and then I put them in there for a few minutes, and then I just leave it cracked at 200. I prefer to do it in the winter, obviously, because then I'm not wasting that oven heat. But the dehydrator works really great, and it'll probably be about 6 hours on these. But so I got 2 trays. That was my whole entire onion harvest, minus 2 big ones and then 2 medium ones that I saved for supper dish. We'll see how much we end up with when they're all dried, and we'll put them in a bottle. Okay, my top tray is done. About 8 hours, depending on how big you cut your pieces. It's probably, the moisture content. It's going to vary for everyone, because it's not an exact. Every onion is not going to be the same, but they look just like the ones that get in the store. Here's store-bought ones. Here's this one. So I'm just going to put these right in here with my store-bought ones. I let it go until it was like a crispy texture. Some of them wanted to stay a little bit more rubbery, but I wanted them crispy, so that's why these other ones are still going. They just felt a little bit rubbery and more than the crispy texture that I wanted. So basically 8 hours, give or take an hour. So easy way to make minced onions with the dehydrator. Like I said, you can do it in the oven. I've done it both ways. I think the dehydrator takes longer because it's a less powerful, but I'm not heating up my entire kitchen. In the winter, I like to dehydrate things in the oven, because then I can have that residual heat to warm up my house and my kitchen. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful and show you how you can make your own minced dried onions at home. So thanks for joining us. This has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Bye!